work at the management office here at John Lewis & Partners, Cardiff. We'll be looking today at some interview questions that you could expect to have if you came to look for a job with us. So we're very happy to give you some top tips because after all, we want you to sell yourself to the best of your advantage. So let's have a look at the first question.
Great, okay, so just before we start, just really want to get to know you a little bit. So if you can just take a few minutes to tell us a little bit about yourself. Feel free to talk about work, studies, whatever you've done in the past. Over to you.
So the first question is all about you. It's really important when you go to an interview that we actually learn something about you. So please talk about your hobbies, yourself, your interests. If you have previous work experience, that's great too. But this is your opportunity to sell yourself.
Okay, so what would you think you would enjoy the most working for the John Lewis Partnership?
It's always useful to know why it is that you're looking for a job. It's important for any employer to understand that, so please talk about it. Also, really useful too to actually do some research. It's great to know what it is you're applying for and for us to understand that you actually are putting the time and effort in to find out what it is we do here at John Lewis Partnership, whether that's for John Lewis itself in the retail stores or whether it's for Waitrose in the supermarkets. So talk about what interests you and talk about why you think it'd be a really good idea for us to take you on.
Give me an example of when you've tried a new way of working.
This question is looking at ways of working. So try and think of experiences, work experiences, or in your own life of problems that you've solved or matters that you had to deal with. Look at what you chose to do, why you chose to do it, and what the outcomes of that were. And really importantly there, what did you learn from that experience? And most of all, why does that make you a suitable candidate to come forward and work for us here at the partnership?
So whenever you had to challenge a colleague's decision, either at work or somewhere else?
This question looks at how you would deal with having difficult or sometimes uncomfortable conversations when you're at work. So use examples of how these have affected you maybe in your own lives, conversations in previous work or conversations at home or in college. Really, it's down to you. What we're looking for is problem-solving skills. How did those disagreements make you feel? How did you resolve them? What did you agree to do or what did you disagree on? How did that help you learn as an individual? What would you do differently? And how do you think that would help you at a place of work?
Tell me about a time when you've had to ask somebody for feedback on your approach at work.
This question is all about receiving feedback at work. You may have received feedback from a previous job or from your tutor when you're handing in an assignment and getting your marks, or even from a coach if you play sport. The top tip here is that we're really interested in all sorts of feedback. And often your experiences of negative feedback will give us the best answer, so don't be afraid to share. What's really important is if you've had something that you've been disappointed about in terms of feedback, then let us understand how it is you use that to inspire you to become even better.
Tell me about a time when you've explained the use or the operation of a product to someone else.
So in this question, we're looking for a more technical answer. Call it the science bit. What we're looking for is your thought process. So if you were asked to explain a product or a service here on the shop floor to a customer, how would you go about that? What is it that you would say? So a top tip here is to think about the features or benefits of any product or service. So say it was an iPad. The feature of the iPad is that it actually enables somebody to use FaceTime. And if that was an elderly friend or relative, that would be a benefit to them because it would help them communicate better with their family.
So how would you make a customer feel really welcome when they're browsing the shop floor?
So this is our final question and another technical one. Now the obvious answers are always good to give, smiling, being welcoming, saying hello. But it'd be really good to add value to what it is that you've already said. Give us examples of where you like to shop and why that is. Why those people in those shops make you feel welcome. What makes you go back there time and time again when it could be just as easy for you to shop online. So don't be afraid to share. Let's hear what you have to say.
Well, the best tip I would give is just be yourself, be relaxed, think about maybe what questions you're going to be asked. And the most important thing is to be really honest and also think of examples. So when you answer that question, don't just answer the question, try and think of where you've got an example of that and tell us about that example. And it just makes the answer so much better.
So we really hope that that's helped give a little bit of background into the interview process that you can expect here at John Lewis Partnership. Who knows, we might be seeing you very soon. There's nothing to be afraid of. Please remember, be yourself.